Hi again, this is Bev here at Clarko Vision, and I thought, while I'd just done a video, I thought I might as well do the other one at the moment, which is the easier one. This is an update video on my collection. Now wait a minute, there was another two here, they're there actually, that I forgot to bring over. Yeah, that's right. So, sorry about that. I'm ready to go. So this is kind of like my first update of the year. It's really what I've collected in January, plus one came in today. So far it's been a really good start to the year, from what I've found out and about and online. So I've got some good things to show, and I'll just get on and start it. So I've got some CDs and some records, so I'll do the CDs first. So, out digging and in a charity shop, I spotted this. Now, I only have the Black Album from Metallica and Ride the Lightning, which I got from Vinylizer. The Black Album, I quite like it, some of it. Ride the Lightning, I thought it was alright, some of it. It wasn't as horrible as I anticipated, because I'm not a thrash metal fan as such. Again, I'm still thinking I'm preferring Megadeth so far. But anyway, this was in the charity shop and it was cheap enough, and I thought, I think it's a 1989 pressing. I know this originally came out in 86, but it says 89 down here. So yeah, it's Master of Puppets. I thought I'll just get it, listen to it, see what I think. I'm not expecting to like it, to be honest, but you never know. So this one is, it's obviously got Cliff Burton on this one. And the other one I saw beside it actually is, I think this is an original press. This is a 1988 of And Justice for All. It's got 1988 down the bottom here, so I thought, why not? I'll just give them a... Now I know this had the song One on it, and I remember One being released as a single because I remember it being played on Top of the Pops one time, and I remember thinking what a blooming noise that is. But the only thing with these is, oh no, it's better than I thought. There is a few light scuffs on the CD, but overall it looks okay and it should play, hopefully. So there we go. So these two I've got just to see what I think of them. I may surprise myself. Kind of similar to what I'm doing with the Megadeth stuff at the moment. I'm still sampling all that, and I'll do the same with these guys, just because they are who they are, basically. Now, I got a heads up from Mark G with a C about this one, and thank you, Mark, because I won it. He spotted one of these on eBay. Knew I was after it, or knew I was interested, because he had just given one away to Headbanging Zulu, I think it was, who got it, because he got in and asked for it first. That was about 100 years late in that, but that's by the by. So he very kindly spotted this and sent me the link so I could watch it. So it was going really cheap. I managed to get it for, I don't know, £2 something or other. It was under £3, so I was well chuffed. So yes, it's Can I Play With Madness and The Evil That Men Do, the dual CD. It's the first 10 years series. So you've actually got altogether on here 7 tracks. It's almost like an EP. A couple of live versions that I haven't heard before either. Listen with Nico Part 9. I'm not sure what that'll be, but So yeah, fantastic indeed. I was really thrilled because for me, Can I Play with Madness is it's got special importance to me because it was kind of the first song of Iron Maidens that I sat up and listened, and it kind of tuned me into them a bit, made me more aware of them, and I liked the song. So fabulous. So I was really chuffed to get that. And while I was on eBay, I was browsing and discovered I finally got my hands on this one. I reckon Cloudy will be impressed. Iron Maiden Live After Death. I have never heard this album fully in its entirety. I know this was this their first live recorded album that they released. So this was described as an original pressing, which I believe it is, from, what was it, 1985? Yep. And not only that, it's a promotional copy, and apparently the seller said it was mint, never been played, and it's pretty much, that is pretty much the case. I looked at the CD and, excuse me, that it is mint, apart from, there is one, I can't even, just there is a slight scuff just on the edge of it there, but whether it's been dropped or something, or if it has been played, but apart from that, there is not a mark on it. So yeah, digital mastering, so I haven't listened to it yet. I've got a wee sort of collection of things to listen to now. The booklet in this is quite a thick booklet as well, actually. You get kind of loads of information. You obviously get track, the lyrics, and then live pictures. More live pictures of the band from, this is the World Slavery Tour, I think, isn't it? The Power Slave. So you've got recording information, and I noticed what else is actually very cool. Hang on a second, because I was looking through this earlier and I thought this is fascinating. You watch, I'll look and find the page now. More lyrics, more pictures, recording credits, blah 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 blah. Live recording thoughts by Martin Birch, so he must have been the kind of sound engineer guy or something. You get, there's an entire list of all the tour dates from this tour there. Including, where is it now? Yes, Edinburgh at the Playhouse. They were here on the 13th of September 84 on this tour. More dates, tour personnel. You've got the PA system specs, you've got the monitoring, the lighting system, equipment, credits. Yeah, and the band equipment, which I thought was, for me, this is kind of interesting. I'm always curious to know, especially what the guitarists are using. Dave Murray's got a 57 Fender Strat and a 64 Fender Strat, an 81 Gibson Heritage. Ibanez, Squire, Dean, Adrian Smith's Gibson, Charvel, Ibanez, and he had a Hamer Scarab with a Kaler trem. Yeah, Judas Priest. So for me, this is really fascinating stuff in here. Absolutely, it's like got the kitchen sink as far as details. So, this cost me a little bit more than the sink, than Can I Play with Madness, but I thought, no, and to get it in that condition, an original promotional, I'm having that. So, result. And the third CD I came across is Big Country and the Buffalo Skinners. Now, This came out in 1993, and it's quite tricky to get a hold of on CD, but it's even worse to get hold of on vinyl. Obviously, with it being 1993, if you're looking for this on vinyl, you can expect to pay lots of money. So it was obviously the CD I was targeting first. The chances of me finding the vinyl on a price I'm willing to pay are probably slim and none, but I was delighted to finally get a copy of this. The opening track on here alone, I love it to bits. It's kind of a hard rock song actually. The guitars are so amazing, and I've not heard all the songs off of this, so I'm looking forward to it actually. Don't know how well that's in focus, to be honest, but I think the closer you go in here, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, because it's the camera that's actually built into the computer. So anyway, so Big Country at the Buffalo Skinners. Again, it's in wonderful condition. Original pressing, and this was on, was it Compulsion Records they'd moved to at this point? Yeah, Compulsion. I think it's part of the Chrysalis or Chrysalis, whatever. So there's the CD and the band there. So delighted. So that's 3 amazing CDs I've got here, alongside the 2 Metallicas. Now onto the vinyl. So yeah, I was out and about and popped into Vinyl Villains and saw this Can I Play With Madness 12-inch single, and I thought, oh, and I had a look and it was in really nice condition. The cover is amazing. This is an original from 1988, it's not a reissue. So yeah, I picked it up. I've got the 7-inch, which is the reissue. Now I've just acquired the CD single and the 12-inch. So there you go. Can I Play With Madness and Black Bart Blues and Massacre. So yeah, it's kind of bright with that light. And again, the vinyl's in really nice condition. A couple of light marks, but looks fantastic. So I was really chuffed to get these Iron Maiden items. I'll just move that over there. The next one I found also out of Vinyl Villains is one of these. I know the Rock Scout just picked one up not too long ago, but this is Adrian Smith and Project and Silver and Gold. And again, this is lovely condition as well. That's the back. And it is a gatefold, which is there. You've got lyrics and credits and all the rest of it. It just came in a plain inner, and it is ASAP. It is an EMI, obviously. Iron Maiden are an EMI, so I think, you know, Adrian was going to not have any problems getting the record label to do that one for him. So I've listened to this, and as Scott said about it, it's don't expect Iron Maiden, because it's not like that at all. It's more kind of hard rocky, some crunchy guitar sounds, and as like what Scott said again, Adrian's voice, it's a little bit gruff sounding at times, but it's pretty cool actually. It's a bit different, it's not an unpleasant voice, and I quite enjoyed some of the songs on here. I think most of them are pretty decent actually. So the next one, picked this up fairly cheap. I had seen it in one of the charity shops a while back. I kept leaving it and I kept leaving it, and it was more recently again when Cloudy Milder was doing his Music for Nations thing, he has this, and which kind of reminded me of it. I thought, I'll just go and pick it up, actually. And this is Shout in Your Face. Obviously, they are Music for Nations, number 92. And the album's in fantastic condition. It does come with its original inner sleeve. Lyrics on one side, lyrics and blurb on the other side, and that's some of the other guest musicians, including Marty Friedman, or Friedman, how you pronounce the name, Michael Angelo, Lanny Cordola, Randy Hansen, and Joey Price. So these guys all guest appeared. Now, I listened to this as well. I just listened to this the other day, and I was a little bit disappointed in it. I have I've got the other Shout album, which is also Music for Nations, and it's MFN 88, so it's 4 numbers ahead of In Your Face here. And this is It Won't Be Long. So I'm assuming they both came out the same year, because they both seem to have a 1988. I am assuming this was the first one, and Shout was the second one. And In Your Face was the second one. But I prefer this album to this one. I just prefer the songs on this one. On this one, I thought there was a bit too much overkill with the guitar solo and nonsense. There was a couple of bits in that where I thought, what the heck am I hearing here? Some guy just, playing about and showing off, because it wasn't really sounding like anything apart from some guy just messing about on his guitar. Plus, the other thing, for some reason, this when I put this album on, the record is fine. It looks lovely. There's not a mark to be seen on it. It's the Patrick Swayze thing, but it sounds, compared to the other one, it sounds more kind of muffled, a little bit less sharp and clear. Whereas this one is much nicer to listen to. So I don't know if it was a slightly bad pressing or what. But yeah, that's that. I just thought I would throw that in there just for interest. But it's an okay album, but I wouldn't get overexcited about it. I would rather listen to this one, I have to say. So that's basically that. So that was, anyway, Shout in Your Face. Just slip that back in there. Again, they're sort of, I think the Christian metal, actually, Christian rock, Christian metal. Next one I was also very pleased to see at a very reasonable price. I've been after a copy of this for a long time. Bonfire's debut Fireworks from 1987. This is definitely a German press, and it's actually got the Fireworks Tour 88 hype sticker with. It's got a whole load of, these are all German dates, so it's definitely a German pressing. And this is the pressing which, there's notes on Discogs about it, where down the bottom, for side 2, you've got a question mark for one of the songs here. The song that should be in place of the question mark, the song's called Fantasy. But for some reason, this happened when they were pressed, with a question mark. It's like a misprint thing or something, I don't know. And then you've got the inner sleeve. See, there's Fantasy is printed on the track listing on there. But what else I noticed, which was even more fascinating actually, about this one, that's the MSA label, is you'll see it's got, hang on a minute, just what, here, side A, and yeah, side A again. Now you've got this same, you've got two side A sticky labels with side A's track listed on both sides. However, one is side B, because if you look at the sort of the matrix, the inscriptions on the run-out part, you can see one is marked A and the other one is marked B, so it's that gives you an indication of what A and B is, because otherwise you just have to put it on and find out. So it's almost like there's a double error with this kind of thing, but I was really thrilled to pick up a copy because Bonfire are another band I'm really enjoying at the moment. So again, that was another delight. So I'll just leave that by. Another one, where did I find this one actually? I think this was an online purchase, but it was at a reasonable price because I had seen it, and a lot of the prices were quite high, but this one was much more reasonable and the condition was fantastic. So this is Praying Mantis and Time Tells No Lies. Now they were part of the new wave of British heavy metal, I think, and this is 1981 on the Arista, or Arista, I tend to refer to it as Arista label, and this is a great album. It's actually, the artwork's by the same chap that does a lot of the artwork for Rodney Matthews, the guy that does the artwork for some of the Magnum covers. But yeah, this is in lovely condition, super glossy, super nice. Comes with the original inner sleeve. I think this is a picture of them at the Reading Festival in 1980. The band there. And on this side, obviously you've got lyrics on both sides, and down the bottom you've got this sort of blurb, and even on this you had your custom, they had a custom label done for it as well. So there we are, Praying Mantis. The record's lovely, it plays great, and I hadn't heard all of this album, but I'd heard one or two of the songs, and it was enough that I liked, so I've been after it for a while, and finally got a copy. Even the inner thing is poly-lined, which is handy, so I'm absolutely thrilled to get a copy of this. And it's a really good album. It's almost, I've noted in some parts, there's a few bits where the guitar sounds a bit like some of what you might hear on Through the Night by Def Leppard, actually. Quite melodic, some of the stuff in here. But unfortunately, they never released another album till much later. Was it the 90s? Early 90s or something, and I think they've released something much more recently as well, but it's a pity they didn't have one or two more albums. So that's Praying Mantis. Another one I picked up is U.D.O and Animal House. I think this was the first U.D.O album when Udo Dirkschneider left Accept and went to form this band. But obviously it says up here, includes a super track Lay Down the Law by Accept and U.D.O. Now, if I'm... Yeah, music and words by Accept and Deafy, whatever that means. I don't know who Deafy is. But yeah, they thank Accept for this. So this was, I believe this album was written by Accept, and they let U.D.O take this for his new band project. I don't really know the whole thing about it because at the time they weren't on my radar back in the day, but since I'm kind of getting into Accept now and also wanted to hear a bit of U.D.O, so I'm not going to take it out. This is in one of these kind of Blake sleeve ones, but it does have the original inner sleeve as well. I think this is it's a German pressing and it's on RCA, so really chuffed to get that. And the last one, which came in today, finally, I've been after this one for a while. I managed to land myself a copy of Q5's Steal the Light. I saw this on eBay and the starting price was something like £1.49 or whatever. So I was watching it and I put in a few bids and I ended up winning it for about £7. £7 total, that includes delivery. So I thought, well, that's okay, that's pretty good. Now, unfortunately, the seller only had like one picture showing the album and the record out of the sleeve, and says, I haven't had a chance to play it, I'm selling thousands, and the seller was selling thousands, right enough. So it looked good for what I could see in the picture, as you can see, and the back cover as well, it's nice and shiny. However, slight disappointment is that there is a seam split on the spine, as you can sort of see there, which is a bit disappointing, and it's right where the album title is, so you can't really, you can make it out just a little bit, but you've got to look closely. So that was, and it's not split there, but you can see it was possibly on the way to being split. The bottom is lovely, so that's the only thing. And there was a price sticker thing up there which I've removed. Now the original inner was just a plain white one, but again it had splits on each side, so it's already in the bin, and I had a spare one from elsewhere which it's now sitting in. But I was pleased to say the record itself is actually very good. It's Music for Nations, obviously, and there is some light surface marks. It has been played, but I've played it through today, and it sounds lovely. It plays fine. There's no crackle, and it's just reminded me what a good album this is. This is really great. So Mr. Cloudy Milder can take the credit for this as well, because it was, I think, when he showed his Music for Nations series again, it was off that I decided to do some investigating about this band. And again, you know, Q5, I don't know much about them, to be honest, but they do have the chap called Floyd Rose in his band. I'm assuming this is the Floyd Rose who invented the Floyd Rose tremolo system for the guitar. And you can sort of hear there's definitely, in this album, there is a lot of bits where you can tell he's using the whammy or the trem. But he's using it nicely in a way that it works for the song. He's not being a prat like some guitarists can be. So there's also a little hole there somewhere, but so overall I'm thrilled to have it. I'm just a bit disappointed about the spine, so I probably will keep my eyes peeled for an upgraded copy if it's at a reasonable price, if it's under a tenner, but I'm really happy to get it. I've been after this for a wee while as well. So that's it for now. That's my latest update. How the hell is this happening? I didn't half waffle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye then now.